Alright, welcome to the second session of Shiori's little solo arc as she travels to the land of the Kuchigami, the animal people, and right now she's looking at a very wonderful tropical map that I still haven't changed for her to see the actual docking town that she's in. But anyway, do you remember what happened last time, Shiori, since you were the only one there?
I was in a boat. I gave people checkups, and then I did some training. I had a nice conversation with the captain, and then I discovered exactly why all these people are the way they are. Which are some interesting things. And then we got to the island. I think I caught like 1,000 fish. I caught more fish than were necessary.
125,000 tomato. Yeah, sounds about right. You met all sorts of fun animal-y people. The tiger girl that reminded you of Sume.
Yeah.
A
She
spider.
was cute and also apparently very unfortunately straight. Eh.
That the straight part's debatable. It's just that Shiori's not her type.
That's okay.
But that being said, you also met a seamstress spider lady that not necessarily Shiori, but Sarah really liked.
Speaking of having a type.
And it was great fun. You did some training. I'm going to give you the option here. I kind of forgot to mention it when you were going through curing everyone, but it does make sense for this particular character to stay locked up in his room. So you can retroactively go and find the one person that you missed on the boat. I had the idea for you to encounter him, but I totally forgot about it. Or we can just say that he stayed locked up in his room and Shiori never saw him until they get to the docks, in which case he's going to come off the boat and you'll see him anyway.
Ooh, interesting. I wouldn't mind having a do-over scene like that. That'd be interesting.
Okay. One of the 5 primary rooms on the boat is for like the higher ups. One of the ones that you hadn't met the person for. And Shiori, this is probably soon after the talk with the commander. And Shiori has basically one last person to go and check up on, and it is who the commander referred to as the navigator. He's the person that had planned their trek, and just before Shiori had come to the commander, and the commander had went to his meditation room, the commander had spoke to the navigator to figure out how they were going to plan their trip to get back home. So, approaching his door, you knock. It's silence, and then you hear a sort of a it's like a shuffling walk, or like a walk of someone who's either just moves slow or someone who's like older. And Shiori is presented with what is essentially a older looking hooded gentleman, and when Shiori approaches him and looks at him, he's sort of a wizened older person, and he's got They effectively look kind of like sideburns, long sideburns, but instead of it being in hair, it's in scales.
Interesting.
And then he looks down at you, and you see that he's got very reptilian eyes, sort of the slitted irises and whatnot. And he basically just looks down at you and goes, "Yes, you were the one that was traveling all over the boat, making sure everyone was okay, right?"
Yes, sir.
Feel free to come in. You will see that I am doing well for an old man.
What kind of creature is he again?
Well, he turns to let you actually into his room, and you see that underneath the cloak, sort of dragging along the floor, he has a tail, a very scaly tail. So Shiori's best guess, considering all the rest of the animals that she's seen, not to mention the Dragonborn Queen picture that she saw with the captain.
Oh yeah.
He's either perhaps dragon himself, or maybe just lizard of some sort of reptilian something.
Right.
He's not nearly as like Dragonborn scaly as the Queen was. But he does have very visible reptilian sort of nature to him.
Yeah. Alright. Shuri's gonna go ahead and sit him down, do her, like, medical thing. 24.
Yep. He appears to be, in good health. Shiori sort of picks up on his, like, that his stature is that he is somewhat older. He's kind of got the health capacity of someone in their mid to late 60s. But
okay.
Other than that, he's perfectly in good health. He seems to be having all the right food and no malnourishment or anything like that.
Good. Okay. Alright, yeah, so she checks him over. Is there anything interesting on him or about him that she noticed?
You do see that, as if it wasn't any indicator from, the captain specifically referring to him as the navigator, you do see that in his room he has a table desk with, like, the equivalent of, like, the ocean star maps that you see in, like, Wind Waker.
Right.
Yeah.
So charts yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's got quite a bit of those, and a decent bed, not anything compared to the captain's bed, but it's a very well kept bed with a few, like, books to the bedside table. He seems to be a very intellectual sort.
Okay. So, okay. So yeah, she looks him over and she, like, glances at the stuff on his desk. Let's see. So the captain didn't really give me your name. He just said you were the navigator.
He gives you a smirk and he says, "My name hasn't been really important for years. Navigator works just fine."
If it's not important, then I'd still like to know. It shouldn't make a difference if it isn't.
you're a smart kid.
I like to think so.
Vishana.
Okay. She scribbles down her notes, everything on, making sure that she's got everyone checked off.
Yep. Alrighty.
Yeah. So I think that's good unless you have something else.
Yeah, that's all I really intended to have with him when you had first encountered him.
Okay, that's fine.
Alright. So then we skip ahead to you actually arriving in the docking city for Kuchigami.
Yay! Boatland.
You arrive. It looks very much like a very typical docking town to you. The architecture and structure of some of the buildings and things look a bit more like huts than like the standard. It looks very tribal, much like the garb that Achike had before.
Yeah.
And you see vast, all sorts of animally faunus people roaming about as the ship arrives and docks up. And once the ship is firmly anchored and set back in the docks, by this point, Alaz, the bearman that had been knocked out previously, he's much more, able-bodied and awake, and so he's one of the ones that goes with, Syndica, the Tiger Girl, and whatnot, to start to go and pick up the other various supplies. As you arrive on the docks, and Woolachi actually comes, you see another. Well, first, where's Shiori? Does she stick to Woolachi? Does she stick to Achike? Who's she staying closer to? She gets off the boat.
Did I remember? Did Dunnes have? Did she have a conversation with Dunnes about getting more weather and area appropriate clothing?
Oh yeah, she did. Dunnes
Okay.
Dunnes had said that she was going to work to make you some.
Okay.
And as far as you had told in the few times that you were roaming the boat while you were training, Dunnes was sort of keeping to the barracks, focusing on making that.
Oh, cool. Alright. So is it still a work in progress by the time you make landfall?
She actually, as you do make landfall, she does seem to have a garb more appropriate for this more tropical weather for you. She doesn't have a more than one set per se, but she does have something for you to use that's not strictly winter garb that you had been wearing before.
Yeah, because I figure it's a little warm here for that.
Yeah.
So Shiori will get changed, and yeah, I think she'll either stick close to if not Ulachi, then probably either Dunnes or Shaga.
Oh.
If they want to put up with her.
Dunnes actually doesn't seem like she's gonna get off the boat, at least not right now.
Okay.
So if you choose to venture off with, like, actually onto the boat, Woolachi is actually pretty close to where the commander is, and then Chaga and I actually had a name for the tiger girl. I just didn't give it to you at the time.
You didn't?
I don't think I did.
I have a bunch of names here. So Goshi and Jenna are the boars. They're the cooks.
Yep.
I have Duness. I have Chaga. I also wrote down Bob the Shark. I think Ellen had said that at some point.
Yeah, which is the name you had for Chaga before I gave you one.
Right. And then I also have... God, I'm trying to make sense of my own writing. Jalasana, which I think is the name of the sword.
Yep.
And Allah's is the bear guy. And I don't remember. And I also have this. I don't know if that is relevant or not. But I think we met Tiger Girl way before you gave me that name, and I don't remember which character that one was tied to, so.
Yeah. That's actually the Queen. You probably got it from the commander.
Ah. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
But yeah.
Okay, let's go.
This is the name that you can add to that repertoire of lists for Tiger Girl. Dabiaz. Dabiaz. Yeah.
Dabiaz. Cool. Sexy
yeah.
Tiger Woman.
So,
I need to digitize all of these notes. Add Shiori to this list already. Shiori.
Alright. So, Woolachi is, or Woolachi's hanging close to the commander at the moment, and the two of them seem to be going to this bigger house up this way. And then, Dabiaz, Chaga, Achike, and a lot of like Allahs and a lot of the other like grunts, which sends Cinehashes in amongst them. They seem to be more focused on getting supplies, and they're going down this way. And in your moment to change and speak to the seamstress, you sort of got a little bit behind as the crowd started to leave the boat. So now you have a bit of a choice of who you want to follow.
Let's see. I think she'll probably stick with Woolachi for now.
Okay.
Because bunnies are familiar and comfortable.
And the commander wasn't that scary, so.
No, but he doesn't have to be scary. He'd not be like super comfortable having like a small girl following him around all day. So.
Alright. So, when you travel up to the like bigger house up here, and even before the commander and Woolachi step through the door opens, and you see another, somewhat older, whereas Woolachi was like in her mid to late 20s. This woman's probably like 37, 38, late 30s. And she's also a rabbit, much like Woolachi is. And she has a sort of like a. It looks more tribal in makeup, but it looks very much like one of those the like canvas bags that one would carry like art supplies and stuff like that in.
Mhm.
She has one of those that's slung over her shoulder and then sitting on her hip. And as she opens the door, Woolachi, because you're close to Woolachi, she's sort of, hey buddy, here we go. And said older woman comes and gives Woolachi a hug.
Aw.
Give for me, since you are there, give for me a spot check.
Okay. That's 10.
Okay. So, the two.
Do you need me to roll for my ESP?
You can.
Okay. 25 chakra control.
Yep. Oh yeah.
30.
Alright.
Okay. So she's got that running.
Oh yeah. So with those, what's the range on that? Like 30 feet?
+2 to detect emotions ability and +2 confident bonus to sense motive checks. Does not say a range.
It says though that it works as if it was the detect thoughts spell, I think.
Okay.
And the detect thoughts spell has a range of 60 feet. So.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Am I within 60 feet of Bunny Mom?
Yes, you are. So. You're within 60 feet, and you can sort of focus it on individual people. And
yep.
The older bunny, based on thoughts, you come to realize that it's not Bunny Mom, it's Bunny Sister.
Yay, sisters.
And she is very happy to see that her sister is back and is, embracing her in a gesture of, I'm glad to see you, whereas Woolachi's more, I took this trip because I wanted to take a trip to get away from home, and my sister is very clingy.
Aww.
Sometimes.
I was gonna say, you said she gave her a hug as like a gesture of, and I was gonna say affection, Dalred. That's how humans work.
Yes, I know. And also, since you're focusing your detect thoughts on Bunny, or Bunny's sister, you pick up the hint of a third voice of thoughts in there, and it helps you to realize that hiding.
All Bunny or Dude Bunny? Hold on.
Hiding behind the older bunny, just like he's at just the right height that he can hide behind the like artist satchel that's sitting on her hip, and it's a little bitty young, probably looks about 9, little boy, and his hair's a bit roughed up and frizzy, and you can see that he has bunny ears just like the other two, except his is down because his ears are droopy. He looks adorable. And the thoughts that you get from him is a like anxious. He seems to be a little bit worried, and having your thoughts focused to where you can actually see him, you see that he like does a jerk to the older bunny's garb, and she looks down at him, gives him a smile, and then the two sister bunnies effectively and almost spontaneously do the equivalent of a secret handshake with each other. The
Ah.
like the handshakes one does to just like with siblings and things to as like a secret code sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do one of those. And they actually end up swapping sides with each other at the end of the handshake. And now the older bunny is closer to where you are standing. And she looks down to see you hanging out over there. And who's your friend, Lilichi? A little medical healer that decided she was wanting to come over this way to help. Turns out those people on that island or on that continent aren't as bad as we thought. And she's at least the most competent healer as compared to me, sister. Oh, really? And she sort of looks down to where you are, and then the little bitty one sort of looks up to you with like big eyes. Very much clear that he is curious because he's never seen a human before. He's used to some sort of animal trait, and you have none that he can see.
Shiori just kind of like she smiles to the older one and says, "Yeah, I'm pretty good at healing, but your sister's better, and I'm really glad that I get to learn with her." And then she like kind of kneels down to be on the level with the younger one. And she smiles and she says, "Hi, what are you doing hiding there?"
He's like, nothing, and then hides behind Willichi, who's closer, and then Willichi's just like, she won't hurt you, come on, say hi. And then he just does a very shy little wave.
Shiori just kind of waves back. Do you have a name?
It's also worth noting that he seems somewhat. His thoughts, now that you've started talking to him, his thoughts are very intrigued that you know their language. Because last he knew, from what he was taught, the humans on the continents that were further away didn't speak the same language that they did. So he thinks it's interesting that you are able to understand the goings on and talk in their tongue, and that he can understand you even. He sort of just hides his face at Willichi's legs and just, this little one here is this today. And you can tell from his thoughts that what little bit of anxiety he had going is sort of appeased now, especially now that he seems to be hugging his younger of his older sisters.
Mm-hmm.
And then the older sister sort of looks down to you. And if you're curious of my name, Ye Chen, which is that. You're getting all kinds of names today.
Yeah, man, I love it.
Huh?
Yeah, man, I love it. And she smiles and says, "Well, my name's Shiori. Hopefully I don't cause too much trouble here, but I'd like to stay, at least for a little while."
she pops up. We're going to be collecting some more supplies. I believe that Lowo is going to meet with the Queen, and then we'll probably be heading back, if for no other reason than to take little Miss Shiori here home. And then Dissiday sort of speaks up and goes, "So you're not staying long, Ben? Just a couple of days?" "As long as it takes for the Queen to get here." And then he sort of looks at Yachin, and she's, and last we heard, she was on her way, considering Lowo informed her that you were on your way. Which, in case you didn't pick up on that, it does seem sort of strange to, or it would to Shiori. Of how did he let her know they were on their way? Because they were on the boat.
Yeah.
So.
Messenger chicken. Like a messenger bird or something.
Perhaps. Though in your training above deck, you never saw any birds go flying.
Weird.
Well, we can get some rest. At the very least. Sleeping in a bed that's not on water would be useful anyway, says Willoughby. And everyone in the med bay is ready for transport to the medical facilities here, so we can help with that. And then
Alright.
Yachin smiles and again looks to Shiori and is like,
What do her bunny ears hear? What is she thinking?
You get from the detect thoughts and just from Yachin's body language that you can read, because you're pretty observant of people, even if they're bunny people.
I'm very observant of bunny people. Even more so, you might say.
Yes. Yachin seems to be contemplating in her mind whether or not she should draw you in a portrait. Like, draw a picture of you.
No, is that what portrait means? So Shiori kind of pauses and she like looks at you said she had like a bag of art supplies on her side?
Yep.
So she kind of like, is it closed or open? Can I see like what the contents are of any sort?
It does seem to be open just a little bit. And you can see, like, probably the equivalent of scrolls and notebooks or the like.
Mm-hmm.
And you do see that it does have a fair share of, like, even though it's like a sort of a leather sort of a thing, it does have, like, splotches of what possibly could be stains of some kind that look like maybe they might be paint. All around the bag itself, so it's reasonable to say that Shiori can put two and two together. That's an art supplies bag.
Yeah. Shiori's going to, obviously because she's a ninja, she doesn't want to just like, hey, like, could you do things? And like, she doesn't want to get obvious that she can read people's minds. So she's just like, hey, are those paints and things?
Well, yes.
Are you like an artist? It's really cool.
She smiles. And she looks
You're not like
at...
one of those... Are you like one of those art ninjas, or are you just a regular, like, nice, calm, relaxing artist person instead of those like that?
I'm not a ninja, no.
Okay, good. Thank God.
I
don't know what it is about the like, I don't know what it is. They like can draw things and bring them to life, and that kind of weirds me out a little.
summoning creatures for you to help you fight would be creepy to most, wouldn't it?
Well, no, summoning is fine. I don't know. Just because they're not like
Not alive before they
willing,
come
I
around.
guess. Yeah, they're not like a thing. They're just, I don't know. It's just weird. Like my girlfriend's a summoner. She can summon tigers, and that's kind of cool. And not creepy, but the paint thing is kind of creepy.
I see. Well,
That was probably
I'm
more
not.
information that you needed.
I'm not an artist of that persuasion. No. Ninjas are a little
Oh.
bit less common around here.
Oh, I'm. I was going to say I'm sorry to hear that, but I can't imagine you guys like fighting that much.
Most of us would rather avoid it if we can. It's
Yeah.
that said,
Um.
an interest in arts. It's good that you say so. Did you happen to visit Lowo's quarters? Being a healer and perhaps running around the boat helping people.
I have, yes. He had paintings of said it was your queen. I'm not terribly up to date on the social situation, so I don't know if that's okay to say or not. But
That's fine. That's understandable.
Okay.
You're from out of town.
just a little.
But yes, if you had seen some of the artwork with the commander, that was all my pieces. And if those
Wow,
pieces
those were incredible.
she gives you a smile. If those interest you, it would be quite interesting for me to get a chance to paint an individual from the continents of the faraway lands.
Oh, we just call it. Oh,
Nefari.
I don't think you have a word for it.
Yeah.
We just call it Nipari.
Nefari.
Yes, that's the name of it. And then to the east, to the west, it's what's the other one?
Buffone.
Rone, yeah.
I see. Those do make it sound a little bit more appealing than just simply faraway lands.
Yeah. You know the name, you can reach it. If it's the faraway land, it's always going to be far away. Or feel far away, anyway.
Makes sense to me. You're a very smart girl.
I'm just... I don't know. I just, like to learn things.
Reminds me of somebody else when she was younger. She said, looking at Woolergy.
Yeah, she was gonna say, I'm glad Achike helped me learn the language, so...
You learned from Achike. That makes sense.
What, do I have a dialect?
No.
She sounds
It's
normal to
just-
me.
It's just that Achike took a special interest in your language.
Oh, I
So-
see.
It makes sense that she would help you to learn ours, since she seemed to enjoy your language a great deal.
Yeah. I'm, good fortune running into her then.
And she is quite the fighter, so if she met you in a combat ensued,
let's just not talk about that one.
If you are powerful, that might be something to add to my paintings then.
A little. Like, I don't know. It depends on how you measure power. I can do things, but like I'm not that like strong physically.
Power is a measure of your own potential, shall we say.
I
Not
mean,
necessarily strength.
well, maybe if there's some place to show off a little bit.
We'll work on that later.
Right.
As it stands, considering that the Queen is already aware that you are here, or that you are arriving anyway.
Shira just kind of blinks like, wait, what?
Lowo keeps as much contact with the Queen as he can when he travels far away.
God, can you do me a favor and type that name in the chat for me too?
Yes.
I think that him and the Ram dude are two that I'm missing from my list.
Alright.
I've met a lot of people today.
You've met a lot of people now and in the past, so you got a lot of names to try to keep track of.
14 people.
And because I want to keep naming conventions to be similar, the more and more people you're like, what's this person's name? The more and more I'm going to have to jump to my little thing. But anyway, she,
The big sister bun.
She basically just got through saying that, Lowo had informed the Queen that you were on the way, and, Shui was like, wait, how? And then she gives you a very, like, it's not the same as the smile she's been giving. It's more of a smirk. You get the sense that she's actually glad that at least this side of things you don't precisely know how this works. And let's just say that our commander has our ways. And our Queen has some very fantastic abilities.
Right then. I'll take your word for it.
And I suppose Lobo's already asked you to be on your best behavior when she arrives.
I would assume that I'm expected to regardless of him asking or not, so I'm going to be.
Good. And then Waluchi looks to you and she's, well, depending on when Lobo sent that information out, she could be arriving in the next, like, maybe day and a half. So, since everyone in town should be aware that there's a human wandering around, you should be alright. But
Are these clothes like formal enough, or should I get something a little more dressy? I don't know.
Yichin looks to your garb a little closer at you saying that, and she's, you should be fine.
Oh. Okay, good. There's something interesting about it?
You've had someone make that for you on your way back. I can tell from the style. Just an artist appreciating another.
I can appreciate that.
Willis, he just gives you a look of, I'm going to deal with my family now, and the other patient should be transported pretty easily, and you get from her expression that, you're sort of free to wander around if you so wish.
Okay. She's gonna ask Luachi for, like, what each of the buildings are. Buildings, quote unquote. I guess they're, like, tents or whatever, but what each of the, like, structures are. You see, like... And if there's anything interesting that she should probably take a look at.
For sake of simplicity, this building up top here is more or less equivalent to like an inn or a Hage headquarters, something like that. It's a very sort of like town hall sort of a structure, and then the smaller buildings off to the side seem to be mostly just trading shops, and it appears that, save for this one like big huge town hall building, this port town's mostly used for like trade. And though they don't get a lot of trade from across the sea, they do have people that trade from, further down the coast that come up this way rather than traveling through the wilderness to get here.
Right.
And, but this seems to be like more of a trading town than anything else, which is why all the rest of the ship crew instantly went into, I'm going to go find supplies mode, because they know where to get them, they know how to get them, and they just ventured off to do that, so that could be handled while Lowo speaks to the Queen, and they can sort of prepare for whatever decision is made. But we'll say that, like, this one is sort of a like an apothecary, like an herbalist sort of a thing. And then this one down here seems to be a more like weapons focused, and it's weapons in the sense of like spears and bows and nothing, some stuff that's more archaic in nature and nothing real ninja related weapons. And then this one is seems to be a tailor of some sort, perhaps. So you have herbs, you have weapons, you have tailor. And herbs would also probably include food.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, Stuart's gonna go look. Okay, go ahead.
You also see that the biggest majority of folks that you see, animal-y folks that you see walking around, there seems to be a very common traits among them. You see, you met both of these varieties of Kuchigami when you're on the boat. The majority of people in this town that are like roaming about at the moment are like sailors and seem to be variations on either shark or salamander.
Oh, salamander.
Mm-hmm. There's a few turtles. You see the like harder armored backs. Based on how they're dressed, you can sort of get the idea that they might be turtles, much like the guards that you spoke to before. Now that you know sort of what to look for about the animal features, you can sort of pick them out without having to like study the person for 5 minutes and make it look like you're staring.
Yeah.
and most of them seem to regard you with a, like, they're not upset that you're here, they're sort of weary that you're here. There's a sort of
yeah,
indifferent trust thing going on.
mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yuri's definitely not being like the bouncy idiot tourist. She's like, she does want to go to the, like, look at the weapons
Mm-hmm.
to kind of get an idea of like what an average fighter would be carrying.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's gonna go look at like the herbs and stuff and see if there's anything interesting.
Alright, weapons is down this way, so me. So
Look at the tent that looks like it's at war.
So inside the weapon shop, it very much gives Shiori the vibe of like archaic, medieval, older time weapons. You see like battle axes and spears, bows. There's not anything that's high-end military or ninja weapons. There's armor, some of which that looks like it's may have been slightly modeled after Lowo's armor to some extent.
Oh yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, and like leather and hides and other various things like that. The person behind the counter, that like is the blacksmith, or at least appears to be.
Yeah.
You see that he is another bear, like Alaz.
Hey, bear.
And he sort of gives you a sort of gruff regards of. He's not going to say much to you unless you say something to him or go to buy something.
Okay.
He seems very
Do
much.
you, would it be reasonable that Shiori would be carrying her weaponry at all, or no?
They wouldn't. They weren't holding you prisoner, so they didn't take it from you. So good.
Okay. Yeah, I think she might just like have it on her, and if that draws attention from the blacksmith, that's okay. Since they're like unusual weaponry, like she's got her Tessen and her, like her Kusurigama on her hip and everything. So, Tessen are the fans, and the Kusurigama is the chain scythe.
Do you like show your weapons? Do you have them in any way that he would really see them?
I mean, she's not wearing her cloak, so if
True.
they're on her hip, I mean, depending on how the clothing is that I received, it's
Okay.
She's got it, and she probably keeps her like her kunai pouch on her hip as well. So like the usual.
Yeah.
Or hers is probably like somewhere around her lower back. So.
Yeah.
But most of her like active weapons are like spirit weapons anyway, like her Saraha and things like that. So.
Yeah. He was sort of working. He seemed to be working another blade in like the forge closer to the back, which is also embedded in the ground to prevent it from causing any damage to the hut. He's sort of looks at your Kutsurigama. They said a ninja from out of town was coming.
He like looks up at him and then glances down at her stuff, and she goes, "Oh yeah, sorry, I guess I kind of forget it's there."
a bit small to use a weapon like that. Is it sized for you?
It is. Like, kunai are a little long for me, but I don't generally use them. She hooks one and pulls it out just to show him.
That's not a weapon, that's a garden tool.
Tell me about it. She kind of smiles and goes, I actually prefer something a little less physical.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Is it okay to show you? I mean, I don't want to scare anybody.
There's no one else in my shop right now. And I'm not like some of the others who have a general disdain for ninjutsus. I know a powerful weapon when I see it.
Oh, alright. She kind of does her Seriha, the spirit sword thing.
It's all edge, yeah.
Yeah, it's all edge, that's it.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And just how durable is a sword like that?
Not terribly. If I let go of it, it disappears. I can't really. I haven't mastered like channeling energies through it, but it's not a particularly like powerful thing. It's just, it's actually a fairly easy technique to perform.
More flashy than anything, yes.
Yeah, there's no weight to it. It's not much bigger than a short sword, and it doesn't do a ton of damage. I've got some other stuff, but that's all like just bolts of lightning. That I wouldn't count that as a weapon.
Sounds like it'd be one to me.
That one's all flash and a lot more damage than this can do. That would definitely scare and or hurt somebody.
Especially in a small shop like mine.
Yeah, sorry.
Also,
maybe some other time.
With your detect thoughts, when he says that, you get the sense that this isn't his original shop. This is sort of a place he's either been moved to or is maintaining for now, or like it's as if this dock town was not his, or rather, not as if. It's very clear that this dock town is not his birth town where he was born.
Okay. She kind of like tilts her head and says, "So, are you? You don't seem to be too happy about having a place this size."
No. I'd much rather it be larger, but the resources of this town are not as well off as some of the others. At least not right now.
This town? You're from another?
Yes.
That's actually pretty interesting. What was it like? I've kind of got a limited experience.
Well, in the old days, back before our culture became a lot more integrated with each other, it was a town primarily for rabbits, oddly enough, if you believe that. And upon, everyone coming to terms with the idea that, you didn't have to be the same a parent creature to really spend time with others and things like that. We, sort of mix and matched a little bit. And
You don't seem to be happy about it?
I appreciate that we're a bit more integrated, yes. I just wish that the town of my birth didn't get hit by some freak storm, is all.
Oh.
And if we had all stayed in our own separate places, he sort of looks at his fur. I'm very much not a rabbit.
Okay.
Anyway, that's no concern to you.
Right.
If you see anything else around that...
Do you think you could make something a little more, like what you guys use? I mean, in my size, these all look a little large for me.
Yes. He goes to some of his weapons and gear that he has, and he gives you a bit more straightforward. What sort of weapon proficiencies does she already have? I don't even remember.
Oh, I do. She has a nin weapon proficiency and simple. Yeah, I think because I'm a dedicated, I have simple mastery. And then I took nin weapon as a bonus feat to get the Surigama. Yeah, just simple weapons.
Yeah. Let's see. So you don't really have an archaic weapon proficiency of any kind.
No, not really.
Now, granted, not having a proficiency in it simply means that you use it at a -2 for all of your attacks. So
Right, yeah.
you can still use it. It's just not really proficient for you to use.
Mm-hmm. She pauses and pulls out whatever currency she carries, and she's like, I'm not sure if if you'll accept the money that I have, but
You don't have to worry about much of that.
oh,
I hope to not hear that you get into some sort of fight here, but it's
So
best for you to
do
be
I.
prepared. It's best for you to be prepared just in case and have a means to not strike in a way that would terrify the crowd.
mm-hmm.
And I know what terrifying a crowd can be like sometimes. So,
Yeah. She pulls out her fan and opens it up. And just kind of
that's
looks at it
interesting.
and says, "This is the least lethal thing I own."
That's very interesting.
Yeah, I really like it. I don't know why, it's not really her kind of thing, but it kind of reminds me of my mom.
I see. Well, the sword that you summoned before, it appeared to be very much like a short sword. Perhaps this will do. Perhaps this will do for you. And he hands off one of his short swords blades that's more designed for someone of your height, which is still medium, but
Right. Okay.
So you now have a short sword that you use at a -2.
Oh yeah. Does it come with a scabbard and everything?
Oh yeah. It's got all the amenities that are needed and things.
Cool. So yeah, she already I guess puts it over her back.
Mm-hmm. And if you return to your homeland, you can keep that.
Oh. Thank you. If there's ever anything I can do for you, let me know, okay? I'm Shiori, by the way.
Having someone to talk to that doesn't just automatically assume I'm some just a vendor, if you will. I suppose I'll see you then. Or see you again,
Alright,
rather.
you will.
He actually doesn't give you a name.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah.
She's like one of those, I'll get it out of you yet, but
Shiori could think that.
yeah, she thinks that, but all she says, when he says, I'll see you again, she says, you will.
From the detect thoughts, you get the same sort of, like, desire to not say their name that you got from the Lizard Man before as well.
Right. And she's not going to use his name unless it's, like, absolutely necessary.
He told you because you were in a private room, but this guy didn't even seem to tell you when you were in a private room, so.
Right. That one is.
Alright. You then move on to herbalist apothecary sort of food place.
Oh, yay. Mm-hmm.
Alright. So you go inside of the like food apothecary sort of thing, herbs and all that. And you see that Chaga and Sindika are there to restock and add to supplies. And then they're sort of buying and purchasing what they can and moving back and forth over the counter, getting things and helping them to paying and all this stuff. There seems to be a rather fast individual that keeps popping back and forth, and at just a cursory glance, they seem to be a rather small, somewhat smallish individual, and they have a tail. Other than that, you can't see much in the way of the features. At least not at first. And then when they stop, they are actually, they appear actually shorter than Shiori is, which is saying a lot because Shiori is short.
Yeah.
And they're actually standing on the counter instead of behind it. And he...
On the counter and still shorter than Shiori?
Well, shorter than Shiori would be. Not... basically, you get the sense of if they were behind the counter, you'd probably see from the very top of their... You'd see them from the very top of their torso up. Which is why they're standing on the counter.
Right.
It's also apparent that they have that their tail appears to be prehensile. And now that they've stopped moving, you've realized that as they were going from shelf to shelf, they were actually climbing them.
Oh. Cool. Are they a monkey?
Yes, they are.
Nice. Forgot that was a valid summon.
Huh?
I said I forgot monkeys were summons.
That's not important, Sarah. You don't know that.
What's up?
Mentioning that there are valid summons as if that matters for this group of people. That doesn't matter.
There. Oh, that's fair.
So the monkey clerk is just blissing through the whole area of the shop, And it's that sort of anime moment of you have a person moving really fast and someone standing still, as Chaga and Syndica are both just standing in one place as they keep getting supplies piled higher and higher in front of their face.
Nice.
And then with your detect the thoughts thing sort of going, Chagas seems to be very happy about this whole exchange, and Syndica's just got this demeanor to his thoughts of he can't wait for it to end, and then you have a very happy and this and this and this and this and this and this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and none of the three of them have even noticed that you're even in the room.
Oh, there are 3 monkeys.
No, there's one monkey, but then the Chaga and Syndica as well. So it's only one monkey.
Oh, okay. I thought there was 3 monkeys. It's like, is this Sun Wukong? What?
No. It's just that they're the Syndica and Chaga are facing away from the door. And the monkey is focused, and the monkey is focused on what he's doing. So none of the 3 of them have realized that you've entered the shop.
Oh, okay, yeah. If there's just like display stands and stuff, Shiori's not gonna really like bother anybody if she doesn't have to. She's just going to I imagine her mother had in her like medical journal like herbs and stuff that could be used to make pharmaceutical things.
Yeah.
So she's gonna just start like comparing the notes to what's on the shelves and things like that, and like looking for particular supplies.
Okay. And you're just sort of wandering the shop and not making any direct attempt to really hide. You're just, not going to bother anybody.
I'm not stealthing anywhere. I'm just browsing.
Yeah.
If Chaga or Syndica sees me, she's just gonna wave to them like, "Hi guys."
But
she does have her ESP running regardless.
Yeah, with your detect thoughts thing going already, when the Chaga and Syndica both notice you, Syndica sort of both in his face, which you could see of it, that's not like behind a box. He gives you this look of, I think we're getting more supplies than I thought we were. And Chaga is just like, oh hi, there you are.
Oh hi, how are you?
And then, and that's when there's this like stop on a shelf, and Chaga actually does say hi. And there's this stop shelf, turn head as the monkey looks to where you are, and
Shiori's just gonna go, "Hello there."
Thought process comes just as quickly as the monkey does. New customer. And the monkey is immediately beside where you are. Just like away from the shelf, all the way to you, and like blink without.
Uh-huh.
Well, hello. How are
can
you?
I hold... Actually, I can just auto-cast it, so it doesn't matter. She smiles and goes, good, how are you?
What are you auto-casting? Or thinking of auto-casting?
No, I was gonna say, like, speed of lightning. If he was just gonna blink around, she's gonna blink around with him. She's making friends. This is how she makes friends.
Yes. Also worth noting, particularly here, since you have not just your detect thoughts, but sense chakra going, or since chakra is just a natural thing that you have, there is a strong influx of chakra in this building as compared to the rest of the place. It seems like maybe not the food, but some of the herbs and the monkey himself, as he comes to you, they've got this sort of... It almost seems like this constant aura of chakra about them.
Oh, interesting.
Not just in the monkey, but also in the herbs and some of the things that you're seeing around.
Yeah.
They look like the herbs that you know from like your mother's medical journal and things, but they're giving off this aura of chakra that's not normal, but yet it feels natural at the same time. It's very strange.
Huh.
And then the monkey, he just sort of gives you this big broad smile, as if this is hard to spell. And yes, I don't know. I find it funny that the name came out this way, but it sort of makes sense with this kind of character. Name's Chin Chin. You need anything?
Oh, I was just looking for some medical stuff. I think I know what I'm looking for. But if I'm having any trouble, I'll let you know.
Oh, medical supplies. There, and there. And he sort of indicates for you the shelves that has the various things that you're looking for.
Yeah, I imagine I've already found some of them. But...
Yeah, a lot of them you had already found. There was one that's sort of in a different spot than what you initially would have thought. Like, the layout of this store is slightly different than, like, ones back home, of course. And he's just sort of there, and there. And then back over to collecting the rest of the supplies.
Alright.
Also, give me a ninja lore check, if you would. Which is weird, but yes, ninja lore.
Ninja lore. Just to see what kind of techniques he's doing. I mean, I imagine if he's giving off chakra, then he's gotta be doing a thing. Whoa! 22.
Let's see. Yeah.
Higher than 24, I wasn't gonna get it even with a crit, so...
Yeah. So he has... In the way he was standing, when he was standing in one spot talking to you, he had the stance for flash step. The whole teleport stance thing going on. And it seemed to be a very sort of like natural state for him. So, yeah. But he is very quick.
Shuri actually... Yes. Shuri actually does Speed of Lightning. Which is not the explodey one. That's just the quick one. And she... keeps... he keeps in time with him. When he moves, she, ends up right next to him, and she's like, hey, are you doing ninjutsu?
Whoa, you're just as fast as I am.
I might be faster.
Nah, can't be.
She says that with a little smile,
No way, no one's faster than me.
Oh?
No one. Might need a wider place if we do that. I'm a little busy right now. Come back at,
No, yeah, I wasn't implying we interrupt your work. Maybe when you're done?
That'd be fun, yeah.
Yeah.
Chaga sort of... Chaga looks at Chin Chin and goes, that might not be a good idea, buddy. She's a lot faster than she looks. Nah, there's no way. You know, I'm the fastest one. Gotta be.
Shiori abuses her speed of lightning to basically instantly collect the things she's looking for. and just like stacks them in a neat little pile on the countertop.
Okay, that's cool. But watch this. And then Chin Chin goes from like one corner of the shop to the other and grabs almost every supply that anyone could ever want and stacks it up in a tower that's higher than yours.
I got fewer things. That's not fair.
My tower's better.
It is.
Chaga's size is just Chin Chin.
How about we call it a draw?
Until the race later. Draw until the race later.
Until the race.
Okay.
She like puts her hand out to shake his.
He actually shakes your hand, but with his tail.
Oh, that's cool.
And then he goes back to finishing up with the supplies. It appears that in this whole exchange, as it was mostly with Chaga, Syndicate has actually made his way out of the shop with the supplies that he had. And he's, at this point, Chin Chin's, focused on more or less chatting up with Chaga and getting some of the other supplies. And, Syndica's on his way back to the boat.
Okay.
And then, you look. Are you going to leave the shop, or are you going to hang around?
She's going to also check with Chin Chin if her currency is allowed here.
Oh. Chin Chin sort of tilts his head sideways looking at the currency and is like, I don't know what that is. Nope, not gonna work. And then Chaga's just, I got it, here.
Oh, well, thank you. You don't have to do that for me.
You don't have the currency. Yet.
Yeah, I don't. We just used, talents made of gold. I don't know why. Oh, well.
We'll get your currency exchange figured out.
I can work for it. That's not that big of a deal.
If you got a bit of money on you, we can get the exchange figured out. That'd be better in the long run. I don't know how long it's going to be that we're going to be staying here anyway.
Okay.
Hopefully longer than your last trip where you left for 3 days, says Chin Chin. I was not... the things I put up with...
Aw, guys, don't argue, guys. Come on.
Chaga just smiles and anyway, I'll meet you back on the boat.
Me?
Yeah, unless you decide you're in his room here in the inn or something.
Oh, I had thought about it, but if I'm it'd be nice to have a bed that's a little more stable.
Fair.
I'm sure that's not that big of a problem for you, but...
Yeah, I much prefer the sea. It's a lot more fun.
Uh-huh. I might stick around the inn for a little while, but if you guys need me, you're more than welcome to come get me.
Yep. And that race is still a thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Look forward to it. What was your name?
Me too. Shiori.
Shiori. Got it. And then Chin Chin seems to go back to... Now that Chaga's supplies and things are settled, Chin Chin just sort of... it looks like he's alphabetizing. Or it might just be an excuse for him to keep running around. Yeah. You're free to leave that shop.
Okay. Yeah.
And then, as as you exit the shop, um, because this particular shop had a sort of a, it's still a hut, but it kind of had like this awning sort of roof, this roof that was further away from the door um, than the entry point itself. There was a slight, and it's getting closer to like midday or late midday, like maybe 3 or 4. So there's a bit of a shadow cast going on.
Right.
There's, as you come out, you notice she's not really making a very like apt attempt to hide, but you see that Achike is sort of leaning up the side of the herbalist hut.
Yeah.
And sees you come back out.
Mm-hmm.
I see you men are a lovely little merchant in there.
Yeah, he seems really lively.
He is.
Yeah, what are you doing out here?
Seeing where Sentaka assumes he wants, whether Sentaka wants to sleep on the boat again or he wants to sleep in town. Just sort of staying where the shadows, where I usually stay.
Oh, come on. What's the matter with hanging out?
I'm not as energetic as Chin Chin. I don't need to be hanging out with people constantly or moving around so fast.
Yeah, I guess I can kind of understand that. It's nice to relax.
Yeah. And you know...
Well, I'm not gonna push you into something you don't want to do.
You know, being away from home for a while does make this place feel a little bit less like a cage, I guess.
I'm not quite sure how to take that.
Don't worry about it. I think just the change of scenery for a while was good for me, even though maybe I don't necessarily like it here.
Oh, I see.
Anyway, you still got a few bit of days, days left to, hours left, words. You still have a little bit of hours left to sort of explore around, taking in the sights.
Okay.
I suppose I'll see you, Shiori.
Yeah, see you around, HK. Just, you know, don't be a stranger and all that.
I'm not gonna go very far away from the boat anyway, you don't have to worry about that.
Okay. I'll see you later, and if you need anything, let me know.
Yep. And it seems that, you know, all the excitement of being in a new place and then seeing the different sort of menu and food, Shiori at this point realizes that she is kind of hungry.
Oh, yeah. And also, I want something other than fish.
That too.
So what is there around here to eat?
Well, you go to the inn, see if you can find some food there.
Don't say fish. Yeah. Yeah, that's what she's gonna do.
Or, you know, you could see if you could, since Chaga is still in the merchant, the herbalist sort of shop, and Chin Chin did have some food, you could always see if you could get something from there instead of from the inn.
Oh, yeah. She's actually gonna ask, she's gonna ask, probably Chaga first, but she's gonna be like, hey, what's good to eat around here?
Well, I don't expect you would want to have fish again. We had those for a while.
Hard pass, but thanks.
Good catch, by the way. again.
Oh, thanks. You too.
That said, we do have other various foods that's not directly fish. If you want meats, Chin Chin has some. Um, and any sort of, they basically, you see in Chin Chin's shop that appears that they have a very sort of, um, like, tribal selection of food versus a very strictly Asian sort of culture. Um,
Sure.
and I'm not exactly a food connoisseur to know the precise difference, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously going to be like similar. Like there's only so many fucking proteins, but
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Depending on where you go, you're gonna see like different kinds of fish or pork or whatever local nonsense is there. If you're in like Southeast Asia kind of area, you're gonna get like dishes with like full-on like giant bugs in them, which are super interesting.
True.
So it just depends on like I imagine like nobody's gonna want to eat giant bugs around here except for probably half the insectivores. So
Well,
who knows if it's on the menu, Shiori will eat it once. But
considering that the biggest part of the working population is also bugs, no.
probably not. Probably a bad idea. Serve up your workforce.
But yeah, there's all sorts of proteins and foods and things. We don't have to get really into the specifics of what it is you actually grab.
Sure, noms, weird noms.
As long as you get like a balanced sort of a meal, I would wager, since Shiori's being the medic, she's very sort of health conscious.
Yeah.
Save for her, overly aggressive desire for caffeine, but so you used some chakra when you were doing your lightning thing.
Just a little.
And when
Just
you were
a
doing
little.
what's your chakra look like right now?
So most of those are fairly cheap things. I showed off Soul Edge, which cost 4, I think. My my ESP thing is pretty cheap. So it's 4, 6, and then Speed of Lightning is somewhere. That's Kinobori. That's the only taijutsu thing I know. It's here somewhere. Speed of Lightning costs 3, so that's 9 so far. That's 9. I'm sitting on an easy 68.
If it's 9 and your start is 78, wouldn't be 60.
I'm not doing it. I'm not. Nope. Damn it.
Okay, sure. Well, you have a good sense of chakra and how chakra works.
Mm-hmm.
You find that after you've ate your meal here, your chakra's spontaneously full.
Oh, cool.
So now that you marked it, I don't know if you marked it down on your character sheet that you had used 9 chakra, but your chakra is now back up to 78.
Nice.
Yep. Which is weird, especially with your chakra nature and being able to sense chakra. You got the sense that for some strange reason, the food that you were eating was very subtly infused with chakra.
Nice.
But yeah. You spend the night in the inn or on the boat?
At the end.
Okay. Let's see. You figure out what kind of critter the innkeeper is.
Just a sentient cheeseburger.
Yeah, nope.
Yeah, I figured.
What did I put for this? Okay. So, you know, um, it's the person who's the innkeeper is female, or at least appears to be female. And when she's standing behind the counter, she appears to be mostly human, as far as you can tell. She has a very sort of long face. It's she's got like the pearl sort of features, the very long nose, very long chin, elongated chin thing going on.
Yeah.
And she also has a very flowy, like her hair is very long and very flowy. It's also like a dark. It looks like it should be gray or brown, but it almost looks blue.
Ooh.
It's that weird sort of, you know the kind of blue that you can get on the fur of a dog that's natural.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that. And
Hello,
she looks to you when you come in. They were said that you might be coming in here to sleep. Our young ninja from across the sea.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, the others have already paid for you, and you will find your room key over here. And as she steps over to go hear the room keys, you hear a very audible, like hooves.
She's a horse lady.
Mm-hmm. What was that?
Oh, cool.
And she reaches up and then hands you the key.
Alright, yeah. Sure, he takes it. And she she looks the one over and she's like, wow. Sorry, I don't mean to be rude. I think you're the first, you're the first one I met like you, and I like your hair. I'm kind of jealous of it, actually.
Don't ninjas know how to disguise themselves? You could make hair like mine, couldn't you?
I could, but it's a little counterproductive to being a ninja.
Blending in, and she sort of flows right
Well,
behind her.
Also, not getting it caught in things, or...
Yeah, it is a bit long. But I like it.
Yeah. It's very pretty.
You have a good night.
You as well.
And then, and she walks back over to her, like, chair behind the counter.
Mm-hmm.
And she seems to go, like, instantly go into reading a book, which, even when she has the book in front of her face, because of her sort of elongated face, you still see, like, that, you know, it's the focus is, like, down, and she's looking down, and you see just how, like, elongated her features are when you see her from this angle.
Yeah.
A horse with gray blue hair, a figure.
Yeah.
And then you sleep, you rest for the night. It's calm, peaceful. I'm unless you randomly want to have some sort of dream about Sume, you're good.
No, I'm good.
And you awaken the following morning with, it sounds almost like a very sort of fanfare or trumpet or something. It's very, very like someone very important is here.
Oh.
And you're still like somewhat asleep from the inn. Whoever's arrived like freaking crack of dawn, 6, 7 in the morning, very, very early.
Yeah.
And they are outside of the inn itself, and you are still inside.
Yeah. Shiori's gonna jump up and get dressed and just, like, I guess look around, like, make sure that she's, you know, she didn't have any, like, impromptu visitors in the middle of the night while she was asleep.
No.
Alright. She's gonna take a minute to do her usual dailies, casting ESP and, doing all that stuff.
Yeah. Alright. So we'll have that set for your next bit. And as you go down, you are greeted with a very interesting sight for Shiori.
Mm-hmm.
You see four Steven Universe had the palanquins, the big, like, single person cabs that had the, those, the big, like, single person vehicles that were controlled by a person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's one of those. And you see that it's being held and carried by four. They all look the same according to this map, but that's okay. Being carried by four insect type people, because you see the glasses and the somewhat smaller but very strong stature that they had going on.
Uh-huh.
And in between is what could only be described as a very regal looking like single person cab. I think they're called, what are they called? They have a specific name, but I forget. Litter is what they're called.
Yes.
Yeah. Which is strange because I normally associate that word with cats, but anyway. And it is a very regal looking litter single person vehicle. And as the four insectoid folks set it down to the ground, and you, with your sense emotions going on, none of them seem to be, like, upset or... It's this strange... They don't feel oppressed. Like, Shiori, from her nature, would assume that, you know, people in this sort of situation, it's, like, close to, like, servitude sort of thing.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, but you don't get the sense here. The four of them feel like they genuinely feel appreciated for the job that they have.
Okay. Sorry, that was unrelated. Go ahead.
Was it?
It was unrelated. Go ahead.
Okay. And then to end out your side of the session,
That's me, Dio.
So, you are then presented with the Queen, which I have a token for, go figure.
Oh, wow.
Huh?
Yep. Pretty good.
Alright, so next session is your actual conversation with the Queen, Brio.
Aww. But that's gonna be like 3 weeks from now.
Maybe like 2.5. I think you appreciated Chin Chin a little better.
I did. Wait, who else met Chin Chin and unappreciated Chin Chin? Well, I have to have a conversation with them. Chin Chin is a goddamn national treasure.
Cool. I'm glad you liked them.
I do.
Alright. So, also, your next session will be your race with him, too.
Yes.
We about forgot that. Anyway. So that is for Shiori. Join us next week, or whenever, for Shiori's meeting with the Queen and raced against the Monkey Boy, apparently. And now it is Sumei's turn. Let's see what sort of shenanigans she can get into. Speaking of, Sumei, do you remember what happened last time?
Yeah, a giant worm popped out of the ground.
Well, before all that.
That's the important part. Oh, I'm not on mute again. I'm sorry.
Thank you, niece. Go away.
Seriously. Sumei, being the grump that she was, for having Shiori left on the boat, she went back to Padahachi. She ended up training a little bit. She learned a little bit about Yone, not a whole lot. She learned a little bit about Yone from Kineso, turtle man thing. And she saw him reconstruct his tank again, so he now has that, and that makes him very happy. She learned that Kineso had some means to create water from chakra when most chakra moves were centered around, having water around you at the time.
Mm-hmm.
He could have just used snow, but he chose to use chakra instead because he's like that. And you got some help from the Patakage for your training. You've done some various trainings, destroyed a target dummy or two, maybe a boulder, just maybe.
Just maybe.
And then afterwards, Yone, the bow lady, still hadn't shown up yet. After your 10 days of training, so it was
She
deemed.
was eaten by a worm.
So it was deemed that it'd be a good idea for you to go out and look for her. To go out and look for her, you were basically given it as a mission from the Patakage, and he sent Miss Charisma's Minori.
And then a shy earth person.
And then a somewhat small-statured earth person, earth jutsu user of some sort, who when asked if by the direct question of Sume of he can see people underground, his response was, "I can see everything underground." He had a very sort of tough nature to him, though he wasn't actually blind. And yeah, you went out looking for him, looking for Yone. You went back to the edge of the continent where the boat had been, sort of looking around for her, and instead you managed to find a trimmer-style worm as opposed to Yone, which absolutely seemed to scare the little earth person, because he went down looking to see what was down there, and then was like, yep, nope, not Yone, nope, definitely not Yone, rawr. And yeah, it's quite possible that a certain tigery person may actually be in a combat here very soon.
Yeah, like, oh, that's a big worm.
It is indeed. Rawr.
And it's not supposed to be up here.
And as the worm comes, like, smashing out of the ground and coming up, aggressive roar, because, of course, you then see a ninja that hops down from the worm's back and lands beside said worm. And distinguishing features to this individual, he has a headband, one that is not actually slashed out of any sort, and that is the nature of his headband. If Shiori wants, or somebody wants to try to roll Ninja Lore to see if she knows that headband, I doubt she does, but she can.
I will attempt.
Uh-huh.
Where is my Ninja Lore? I don't have Ninja Lore.
It'd be an intelligence check then, yes.
My +1.
Uh-huh.
Ah! A 20! I am slightly smart for a moment.
You rolled a Ninja Lore and you almost critted. Wow.
Like I said, she's SMRT for now.
Uh-huh.
She is smart.
Let me roll a Ninja Lore for Annoy very quickly.
Oh, come on.
And then Ken, who is the little guy. Do you have Ninja Lore, dude? Of course you do. Not nearly as much as your teacher, but you do. Oh wow, there we go.
Oh, come on.
Wow.
She thinks she's smarter than all of these dudes just like catch up and like blow her like she's a leaf in the wind, like woo.
You know, surprisingly much more than you thought you did.
Huh?
I'll still count your roll. Sume comes to a realization more than she really thought she would have normally. But in all
her.
your, it's as if you're thinking back to all of the like Azagiru's details and things that you had thought of, and you remember hearing from Shiori maybe, or from someone else in town, you're not sure. This headband is from his village, is the village that was quite possibly in the middle of the desert somewhere.
Oh, on the other side of the wall?
Yep.
Oh, he's a long way.
Also, give for me, right quickly, a spot check, since you get a decent in your ninja lore earlier as well.
Spot check. 22.
Wow, the dice are liking you today.
For now.
For now. Alright. So, you see some very interesting things about this particular person. First of all, he has a katana.
Awesome.
Not a large katana, mind you, just a normal standard katana.
Awesome.
And second, the whites of his eyes are red and the pupils are black.
Creepy.
Uh-huh.
Still creepy.
Uh-huh. Yeah. What is, Sumi going to do upon seeing this? She's got a chance to react in some way if she so chooses. Because it was far enough away from you two, and Ken jumped away and was able to get it a good enough distance to where the worm and Ryder there are not going to get a surprise round on you. So I'm going to give you a chance to see what you want to do.
She's just gonna be like, really loudly, like, what is that doing here?
That is a very good question. He is a long way from home.
Yeah.
Something tells me from those eyes that I don't know. Okay, it's time for you to show some of that prowess for us, Sume. You're good with the target dummies.
You have to. You want to talk?
Huh? What was that?
I was like, can we talk? I'm like, gonna attack. Yet?
As you say that, the man with the sword, like, unsheaths his sword and points it at you, and goes...
Oh, he's gonna attack.
He points his sword at you, specifically at Ken, more so than you. You are not my target. Move on. And now we roll initiative.
Who's the target?
He was looking at Ken and said Ken was not his target and move on. Ken interfered, so now he is going to attack him.
Oh, so he's gonna attack Ken?
Yep.
Or is Ken gonna attack?
Well, let's roll for initiative at this point. So...
Oh, right. I'll do it. That is a 20 for Sume.
Okay.
And a 21 for Shima. Yes.
Okay. That's Minori.
Oh, poor Charismas.
Minori is, what, a 9 or 4 or something? 9. And then it is Ken's turn. What is your initiative, Ken? Oh, right, I forgot. You're a little speedy little bugger. Boop. And you rolled a crit again.
Jeez!
Jeez, dice are liking him right now.
Well, he's probably a bit on the squishy side, so...
Oh, you'll like him. And then, Beastie. Oh, that makes sense. Boop. Okay, it's going last.
How?
He has a negative initiative.
He rolled a -1!
Yeah, he rolled a 1, and he has a -2.
The worm has a -2 initiative.
He does indeed.
Oh wow.
And
It just sits there and it's just flailing about like ah.
and then we have Ryder. Okay, cool. All these people with actually kind of crazy initiatives. Boop. Okay. So it is Ken, Ryder, Shima, Sume, Minori, and then Mark. Okay. So, Ken.
Just like, wait, he's not your target? Okay, so don't attack him. You can put your sword away.
Well, you know, talking's a free action, so you can say all that if you really want to.
I'd be like, okay, he's not your target. Why is your sword out?
He interfered.
We were curious. That's it.
Ken's like, don't really think he's going to listen to reason.
Oh, fine. Let's get this on with him.
And Ken is going to look to Minori, and Minori just seems, since she rolled low on her initiative, she just seems sort of like out of it. Why is this worm person and Ryder and all this here and blah blah blah, and he seems to be going on the offense to attack you. So Ken's Minori's just go underground. If he comes to target you, at least you can just go underground for now. And then at that, Minori would just do exactly that. Whoosh 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 whoosh. Into the ground he goes, a la Yone, except his isn't a completely invisible tunnel. Shift. Alright.
Okay.
So,
It is Shima's turn.
it is,
Oh no, that one is. Never mind.
Sword Guy's turn. Which, now Ken's
Let me
gone.
guess. He goes underground.
Sword Guy?
Yeah.
No, he doesn't. Big Guy's going to sort of gesture with his sword as Ken disappears, and then he's looks between you and Minori. If your friend isn't coming back, then I'll just have to settle for you.
Wait, who he's pointing his sword to?
Evens or odds?
Odds. Damn it!
Odds it is.
Swinging his massive sword around, just like pointing it, just like, you then. Ah!
Uh-huh.
Oh wait, it is pointing at me then?
Yes it is.
Ah!
Yes. So, he has his sword, and he is gonna charge you. I do believe a 29 hits you.
It certainly does.
Mhm.
I don't have all my buffs yet,
No,
but
you
it
don't.
does.
let's see.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to pull up things for Shima next turn.
Mhm. So, I will roll the damage. Which I have to roll 2 different dice because he's being special.
Oh, he's a special?
He's
Those are always fun to fight a special.
He's doing a cool thing. It is. Okay, so first and foremost, there is this damage. Boop.
Ow.
And then this happens on top of it.
Ow! That's 21 points of damage right off the bat.
Yes, it is. 2 things.
Yeah?
Fort save.
Oh.
And wisdom roll because curse mark.
Oh! Oh! I thought it was a will roll.
Or yeah, will, sorry. I was thinking 5th edition for some reason. But yeah, you're right, it's will.
Yeah. Okay, well, here's my 4. 25.
Good.
And then 16.
Good. Very, very good. Good for you.
What
Okay.
happened?
So,
He just strolled up and slapped me. What happened?
oh, he slashed you with his sword. He didn't slap you.
But he slapped me with his sword.
Sure, okay. So he charges forward. You brace for impact. The obvious impact going to be here. And you are able to resist. You feel that his blade would have knocked you back. It had like a knockback thing going on.
But I just tilted and then I stood my ground like, what?
Yeah. You stood your ground on that blade strike, and then you felt that chakra from Cursemark trying to worm its way around you, and you just barely keeping it at bay. But you're still you. You're still yourself. And now it's Shima's turn.
Yay! Guess what? We're gonna do a first move for her.
Uh-huh.
We're gonna attempt an actual ninjutsu move for her. Yay!
This
It's
ought
gonna
to be
be
fun.
Spirit Fang for 12, if you have the book up.
Mhm.
It's a DC of 14. And it takes her 1 attack action, so she's just gonna chill there. Yes! At 1 point. Yay, now she has an enhancement to her natural attacks and
Yeah.
damage,
Yeah.
which count as chakra enhanced if I pass damage reduction. Aha!
Uh-huh. And then she just sort of growls at him.
Grr.
Yes. Alright. Shima, or Sume, rather. You have this big,
Yeah.
big, weird-eyed swordsman person right in front of your face.
I'll be like, you just cut me.
He says
I'm
nothing.
going.
He says nothing. He smiles at you, though.
She's not happy. She's
Oh,
gonna
it also,
activate her.
it's
What?
also worth noting, his teeth look rotten.
Oh god, is he the zombie ninjutsu thing?
Possibly. Sume wasn't there for that.
Oh, I know, but
What you doing, Sume?
I'm activating my speed, so I get my +4 bonus to defense and reflex.
Huzzah!
It's like, come at me now.
I just
if
see
I
you
had
just
to go
doing-
first before him, he would have just barely hit my defenses.
I just see that you do this like little hop sort of thing, and you're like shake it off, rawr.
Yeah, well, that was a free action,
All right, yes.
isn't it?
Yep, it is.
And I get +2 my attack roll. And I'm a lot faster now, so sitting at 55. Awesome. Oh, what can I do? What can I do? I could really make 'em mad. I'm gonna do combo starter just because I can.
Alright. So, melee attack at your highest bonus, what with your strength and all that fun stuff going.
Well, I don't have the strength activated. Remember, I can only activate one at a time.
Right, and you did speed first.
And I did speed, but I do get a +2 attack bonus on it.
Cool. Okay.
And I have that Kiwami defense thing.
Yeah.
And just so he loses his dex bonus to defense until next attack.
Yep.
Okay, let's just give this a try. My attack there. Okay. So at my next highest one, which is 11, and then plus the 2, it's 13. Okay.
That hits him.
23? That hits him? Yay. Now he loses dex.
Huzzah!
And I get to do free stuff.
Huzzah!
So 1d6 plus my strength, which is 3.
Yep.
4. Slap.
Yeah, basically.
Like, you cut me. Slap.
Okie dokie. Now, it is Minori's turn. Yay, Minori! What are you going to do, Minori? I know precisely what you're going to do. You're going to go over here. I'll put this away. And, I believe this thing has hand signs so that Shiori or Sume would see them. Yeah, it does. And then rank 5. Minori's charisma is +4, so 19. She doesn't have to roll it because she auto performs because she's awesome like that. Yeah. Hey Wormy, let's do a will save, buddy boy. Your will save is actually pretty good for you being somewhat slow and stupid. But can you make what is required? Darn. He in fact does. Okay, so Sume, what you see, Minori sort of goes over to the side a little bit, up this way, and she seems to focus her attention on the worm rather than on Big Guy with the sword, who's focused on you right now. And she does a couple hand signs and just sort of stares the worm down, which is sort of odd considering the worm is blind and has no eyes. But luckily, this particular jutsu doesn't require eye contact. And she seems to try to do something. Her perform goes through, and then the worm just sort of like shakes its head aggressively like a dog, basically, and looks directly in her direction, even though he has no eyes. Okay. And then we have Worm that failed at doing a thing. Or failed at rolling initiative. Failed at life is what he did. What are you going to do, Worm? I know who you're going to attack, but what is your attack? Holy crap, I forgot he had such huge attack. I suppose that makes sense. Okay. So, he's gonna charge a Minori. And, Rar. Your attack is like huge, isn't it? It is. Holy crap. It's because you're so large, you bozo. Boom. Ow. Okay. Damage. Okay. Not too bad. Kinda scary, but not too bad. And then, yeah, so the worm basically charges at Minori and bites and then grabs her and picks her up. Because he can do that. And then Worm's turn is over. It goes to Ken. Hooray for Ken, who's invisible right now. Minori, as she's like grabbed by this worm, she yells, "Ken, get your ass up here!" And Ken reappears. Hooray! Jumping straight into the air, and his cloak that he was wearing flies away entirely. And for being such a small, somewhat shy and timid guy, Sume, you're going to be quite impressed, because Ken's ripped as crap.
Well, I figured, because he swims through the ground.
And he basically jumps and tries to punch Minori out of the worm's jaw.
Is he trying to punch Minori?
No, he's
Or
punching
is
the
he
worm.
trying to hit the, oh, he's hitting the worm.
He's basically hitting the worm in its mouth, like beside its jaw, to where it would lose grip on Minori.
Right.
Let's see, do you hit it, Minori? Or 10, rather? What is this worm's AC? Should be that high. Yeah, no. Okay. Ken's damage. That's the 8. Wow, nice. You rolled max dice. You are rolling all the max dice, Ken. Good grief. Hey, that's easy math, yay. Alright. Sword person, rar. Seeing as it worked so well the last time, and you haven't done anything visible that would make it any more difficult, or anything, he is going to slash at you again with his sword. This time he's doing it, actually, yeah. He's going to once again bring his sword down and strike you. Like, he seems to be focusing his attention when he strikes towards you. It's almost like he's purposely aiming his blade at your shoulder.
Oh no.
And then
That's not gonna be good.
he missed you.
Oh! Ah! And be like, nope. No, you're not breaking these arms.
It is a Shima.
This is Shima. She's going to, she's going to multi-attack.
Okay.
So it's basically 2 claws and a bite.
Yep.
But now they're at a +6. So here is the bite. An 18.
Shima doesn't technically have action points, does she?
No, she does not.
Okay, no.
No?
Unfortunately.
Okay. Okay. 1 claw?
Very close.
Dang it! No! Yeah, she's still cursed.
Just a little.
Yeah. Okay.
Shima sort of looks at you and talks to you. And, okay, 1, he smells really bad. 2, I should probably be you.
We'll get there.
So, eh?
Sitting there talking like a crazy cat lady.
Meow.
That's basically, if she ever becomes a sage, that's basically what she's gonna be. It's probably known for is just that crazy cat lady.
Yep.
I'm doing 16 hit combo.
Right. Because
641.
you got your,
Yeah,
you got
combo
your,
thing. I get to make 3 unarmored attacks against a single target, him, at my highest rank bonus, with a -5 penalty. So my plus 13 goes down to a plus
7.
8.
Or, yeah, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, 8.
And all these are all stagnant, they don't keep going down lower.
Yeah. It's just, they're all,
Okay.
you do 3 at 8.
Nope. Nope.
Nope.
Damn it!
Roll an action point on that last one.
Please be good to me. Where's my action? There it is. Right. Ooh, for a save.
There we go.
Yeah? Eh. Okay.
So,
What?
you're doing your 16 hit combo thing, yeah?
Yeah, but can I roll the damage? Or then...
Yes.
Fine.
Weird damage.
Nope, just to attack. That's my strength. Which I forgot to do at the beginning of this round, which I should have done.
Eh.
Was activate my strength, but I can do it once I'm done with this damage.
Yep.
So, here are the 2d. A 10? Wow.
10's good damage.
And then he has to make a fort save.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and let's make a fort save to avoid being stunned for 1d4 rounds.
So, what is your
Saving throw is a fort partial.
right? What is 16 hit combo's rank?
It is a rank 5.
And you have a strength mod of 3?
Yeah.
So 6, 7, 8. He
Not
needs to
going to
make
be very hard.
he needs to make an 18 fort save. Okay.
No!
Okay. So,
Ugh.
here's what
Well,
happens.
that didn't work.
Here's what happens. this is interesting. It's good that you did this. Because you go into your Blitzy Hurricane 16 hit combo thing, and you're in speedy mode, and you catch him do some quick, like, hand signs for himself as you're, like, striking at him and he's blocking, and as your last hit comes in, he does the standard, like, substitution log thing, except it's a it's like you're smashing a clay pot. But the pot just falls to the ground because you hit him, not it. Because you're too fast. But he does end up over there.
Moving. Turn, run. She's not too happy. Oh no. No, can't get out of the way!
So,
Midori's. Or whatever her name is.
Minori.
Minori.
Ken hit him. Ken hit the worm. So Minori gets a free chance to roll and get out of this crazy grapple that she's trapped in. Do you have anything useful to get you out of this situation? No, you do not. So, it's going to be very hard for you to do so, but I will give you a bonus because Ken punched it in the jaw. Oh, hey, cool! So, Minori does like a backflip as Ken punches this thing in the jaw, and she lands over here away from the big worm thing. And then she... I know what she's doing. Alright. So, what Minori does is she does like some rolls and backflips to get away, and she looks to you and she says, Sume, I don't think I can do anything about this worm. I tried, it didn't work. We take out the rider, we take out the worm. Focus your attention on the rider. Ken.
Oh, that's what I've been doing!
Well, she's making sure you are. And then she looks to Ken, and she's... You be careful and keep this... I don't know if we're going to be able to do anything against this worm, but watch your back as the sword guy comes to behind Ken, which Ken looks and sees that he's there. It's Ken's turn. Or it's the worm's turn, rather. So, just so you know, your next specific, whatever it may be, it's not the jutsu roll itself, but if you roll an attack of any sort, if you do an attack that requires any sort of a roll, Minori's giving you a +4. Assuming you're hitting the sword. Assuming you're hitting the swords guy, Minori's giving you a +4 to hit him.
Oh, she's using tactics and stuff. Oh, okay.
And now the worm. The worm is mad at Ken, because Ken is right there. Your melee is huge, Mr. Worm Dude. I'm just glad you don't have a huge damage dice. Holy crap, you hit like a truck. Okay. The worm critted it against Ken.
How? That's not a crit.
That first one was.
Oh, Yeah, okay, never mind.
And Ken doesn't have a 30 AC, I don't think. So that
No.
confirms the second one. So, yeah. What was your plus 12, I believe?
Uh,
Ow. Well, Ken just took 30 damage, is now being bitten by a worm, just like Minori was earlier. Yeah. Alright. Ken is going to try to break loose from this grapple that he is trapped in. The said worm. Oh, good job, Ken.
Nice!
All the crits, good grief. Sword guy. Is it gonna smack Ken? Yay. Because Ken came back. And Ken was the one he was initially mad at.
Yeah!
What is your AC, Ken? I don't think it's 27. No. Okay. And then the D10 from the actual hit, which is then at a plus. Yeah, plus 6. And then 9. And then 2d6 just because. Wow. And then, so that's 12 damage to Ken. 63. And then, Ken must make the fort save. Yay! Your fort's not bad. It's not your best thing, but it's not bad. Okay. Whew. Shima.
She's going to... Can you tell me what Rake does again? I can't remember.
Rake is a charged, like... It's basically a charged call strike in someone's eyes.
Sure, that's what she's going to go do. So I make one melee attack?
Yep. Ooh!
Now I roll again to see if it crits.
Yep, roll it as plus 6.
Damn it!
No, but you do hit him. Shima pounced on this guy's back, basically, to do Rake, and she slashes at him with her back rear claws, so it's treated as if it's a claw attack.
Okay, so it's just a 1d4.
Mm-hmm. Well, 2d4 because it's both of her back claws, or both of her front claws.
Okay.
She basically clinged to it.
2d4 plus 2s. 8 damage.
Huzzah!
Would have been better if I critted. Anyway.
Yeah.
Well,
But the big guy now has a
my
tiger on his back.
Yeah! My turn.
Yep.
My strength is activated.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a fun thing. I'm going to go up what side do I want to be on? Yeah, I'll be on that side, and I'm going to freeform. There's snow around us, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. For some reason, it slipped my mind that there's snow around us. No, that's not the one I want to do. Where's the other one?
For my own sanity, this is your third turn, right?
No.
Or is it second?
No, it is my third one. Yes.
Yeah, okay. So I thought.
I'm going to attempt my Black Dragon Snowstorm. 471. It's a fort save for half. And my performance ranks is 7 ranks. That I need, and I have Nin is a plus 12, and the DC is 20. I need to roll. Didn't you say I get a plus something? And I'm basically putting my hand out in front of this guy's face and just be like blasting him.
It's like, here, have snow. Roar.
Yeah.
Did you put some masteries in that one?
Oh, right, I did. I put 1 rank of mastery in it.
That's what it was. Alright, so it's your ninjutsu at a +1 because you have a mastery in it.
Yeah, but isn't Medora giving me a +4?
She's giving you a +4 on the actual, like, on an actual attack, not on performing a jutsu.
Oh.
But it doesn't go away. It's not something that'll go away. As long as you're attacking him and the circumstances of the combat don't change too terribly much, you will always have it.
Well, this is doing damage.
Yeah, the +4 is not going to apply to this because it's not an attack that you have to roll for beating AC with, unfortunately.
Right, okay. Oh, give me a 29.
That'll do it. Roll your damage.
Oh, I forgot to mention that it's actually empowered.
Uh-huh. So 4d10 for 8 chakra instead of 4d6 at 4 chakra?
Yeah.
Yeah.
10, 4, and I don't give any bonuses to it.
Nope.
26 damage, and they must make a fort save for half.
It's a rank 5 move. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's an ninjutsu, so their DC is 16. Because you only have a +1 to your int. And it's a fort save. So,
Why is it +1 to my end?
because
Oh,
that's how the saves work. The saves to the DC to save against most techniques is the rank of the technique plus the person who's performing its effective stat for that kind of technique. So a fort save if you're doing your taijutsu would be rank plus strength. A fort save when you're doing your ninjutsu is rank plus int. But that's okay.
Please fail. Please fail.
What is your thing, Worm? I think it's like decently something. Holy, yeah, your fort's very good because you're a worm. Duh.
No.
Okay. And then Ryder. They just got blasted with snow,
Yeah.
and they both took 13 because they.
It's an ice. It's basically an ice dragon spirit, but the thing is, it's an ice tiger spirit that's just going rawr.
Yes, yes.
Oh, why? Couldn't you both fail?
Alright. And then. So, it is now Minori. Alright. got to do something useful. You spent your last couple turns doing not a lot of useful. Alright. So, Minori, you have distance to do this. Even though you got to kind of dodge around Bozo. Did we not find... Where's the ruler? Did you find the ruler?
Yes, that circle thing.
Oh, there it is.
You can snap to a corner, or no snapping, or what? Or show to others, hide from others.
So she goes down this way. 10 and then up that... Yeah. 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah, okay, she can do that. So she is going to run around the worm. Come over here to surround the big guy.
Flying king, flying king.
Do you have to... I think this is something you have to... Can you... This is just barely something you have to roll for, Minori. Go figure. Good thing you got a high roll for this. Boom. Ah. Really, Minori? Really? She's action pointing that. I'm not letting her fail that roll. Good grief, that's stupid. She rolled the one thing that she would need to roll to fail.
Yep.
Not allowed, Minori. Not happening. Okay. We will save Bozo Head. And it is not a fear effect, so you don't get any weird bonuses, Spoothead. So. Okay. Let's see. And you're... Alright, so... Okay, so you guys are concentrating on the big guy, and Minori just comes charging over, and since Sume, you're on the opposite side to where Minori's at, you just see her place her hand on this guy's shoulder, and
Yeah.
he immediately like grabs at his head and starts screaming. And at the same time he starts screaming, his
Worm thing starts flailing.
his worm person or worm thing does this massive roar that sounds very much like the guy's scream. They sort of reach this weird morbid harmony. It's strange. And then poof, in a puff of smoke, worm goes poof.
What happened?
Well, two things happened. One, a summon only lasts so long,
Mm-hmm.
and the summon wasn't summoned at the beginning of this combat. He had been summoned for a while.
True.
And Minori just so happened to hit the big guy at right about the time in which the summon would end.
Yeah.
And big guy is now very much still attacking and very much like yelling and screaming, but he still has his sword in hand. He's still ready to attack. But he's just like all kinds of screwed up at the moment. And Minori looks to you. You didn't want to fight him. You don't want to kill. You're very raging.
No.
You look very awesome, but I don't think you want to kill. and then she looks to Ken, and Ken is going to do a very cool sort of something. Assuming he can perform it correctly. You see that Ken, at this point, you see that Ken's, like, how he's been sort of hulked out. He looks very much like you do, with your, like, strength ranks and things. It's very obvious that he's got some sort of strength ranks thing going on. But he's not actually wearing weights. You don't see him wearing weights. At the moment. Or at least it doesn't appear that he does. And as soon as he puts up his hands to do this jutsu, his muscle structure just goes back down to a much more smaller stature. It's almost as if he had strength ranks that he could turn on and off visibly. It's weird.
Okay.
And in the meantime, cool. So I'm going to start it with this description, but that's not what it is. It's very different. And Sarah might have some insight.
But are we like done?
We're out of
combat?
initiative at this point. Yep.
Okay.
Turn combat's over because have you ever seen in like Super Mario the like weird like Japanese style statues?
Yeah. Oh wait. Maybe.
I think it's the statue that Mario can randomly turn into in one game or other. Forget what it's called. It's a specific kind of statue. But it's a very sort of Japanese-esque like model statue, and Ken puts his hands together, and as if it's something similar to Gaara's like sand coffin thing.
Mm-hmm.
He puts the big guy with the sword, whose sword is now on the ground, in the body of a clay statue. He just brings the earth up around him and covers him in a statue. So he effectively looks like he's got the, you know how the headhunter could trap somebody underground but just their head? He's got that,
yes.
but it's above ground, and instead of the earth around him, he's trapped in a clay statue. Oh, and not that Sume, I don't know what Sume's mind for art may be, but it appears that Ken's a very good sculptor.
Oh, not bad. Very eloquent. Or elegant, or whatever.
And you see the big guy trying to, like, fight his way out of the statue, but it's it's just like, nope, not happening.
You need to pat that.
Alright.
Can we move him?
I can, yes.
Let's head back to the village.
Ken focuses his chakra and just sort of raises the earth underneath him and turns it into a like escalator or whatever. Just
Okay. Yeah, let's just take him back to the village, because, you know... Oh, but...
Alright.
Because...
You now have a guy trapped in a statue to take back to the village.
Wait. Is there anyone else underground?
Not that you saw, no.
Well, not that I saw. I meant, like, Ken.
Are you asking Ken if he saw anyone else underground?
Like, Could there have been like someone following him through tunnels or something? I don't know.
Oh, Ken. Well, unless you want to try to pick him up, I can't very well carry him back to the town and check his caves.
Oh, I just meant like in the vicinity. Can you sense?
Let me check. And, Ken goes down to, look into that. Sort of checks around. And, once he's traveled down, Minori just sort of looks at you and you did pretty well in that combat. I was expecting you to strike and not fling snow at them, but that was really cool.
I gotta keep my option open. I mostly use Taijutsu when I run out of chakra.
I could have gotten rid of that worm way earlier, but he's surprisingly resilient. And the guy who's trapped in the statue thing is just, let me go. Nope, not happening. Ratsume?
Nope, 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 nope.
And then Minori sort of looks at him and it's just, you have some very interesting eyes. I know that. What is up? Let's see. And Minori is thinking.
Have I discovered these eyes before?
Mm-hmm.
Have I seen eyes like this before?
Technically, yes, you did. It wasn't for very long, but you did.
Where?
I could see you rolling an int check to see if you remember.
Okay, rented it. Int it is. Put down. Int is not very strong. Nope.
Yeah, nope. I'll tell you out of character, and it'll totally give it away because then you'll know for sure. But Sume doesn't remember. Sume saw it on the little boy that she saw just before she went back into Mitsu's lair that one time. Yoshi.
Oh, okay.
That's where Sume would have saw it. Because Sume was not there when she saw somebody, which was Yoshi, randomly die and then come back again. So Minori sort of looks deeper into this guy's like crazy creepy eyes, and she's I knew those eyes were familiar. And she then appears to be looking at the back of this guy's like neck and under what little bit of hair he still has left, because he seems like an older person.
Mm-hmm.
Ken is still underground. What is... Sume has no clue.
Yep. Just. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do... search. Aha! Good for you, Minori. Minori, do you actually have, No, you do not, but you found it. Alright. So, Minori sort of looks this guy over, and she barely gets to where, like, the edge of the like, shell statue armor clay that he's trapped in.
Mhm.
And she sort of indicates for you with like, a beckoning, like, come here, to get you to come to that side and look, and you see that he has some sort of, you don't know what it is, it's some sort of, like, it reminds you very much of your curse seal, but not, it's just like that seals something that's on the back of his neck. And unlike your curse seal, that your curse seal feels like it's like a tattoo on top of the skin.
Mhm.
This feels like it's almost got skin, a thin layer of skin that's like grew over it. It looks very creepy and weird.
Kind of poke it.
Yeah, you poke it, nothing happens.
Okay.
I think, I'm pretty sure that this person is not who they used to be. I don't think I think he's been resurrected.
His teeth are a
I
weird
think
color.
Huh?
His teeth is a weird color.
What is a weird color?
His teeth.
Oh yeah, his teeth are weird. I think his teeth are rotten, so that kind of happens when one might have been. That might have happened when one might have been dead for some degree of years. First,
I see.
do you?
No.
He's a zombie, or something like one.
Oh, okay.
That would explain his very, like, gung-ho for what it is he was supposed to do. I.e. after the target. And now he's trapped and he can't go after his target, so he's silent, even though we're talking about him right around his face.
Yeah.
Well, this is a hell of a thing to report later.
Yeah.
Good thing we have him trapped. At least for now. He was a strong individual. I can only hope that we can get him back, but where the hell is Ken?
I don't know.
You realize at this point that Ken has not come back up.
Can I just, like, start stomping on the ground?
You can. You think that's gonna get... If something... Damn it. Ken... Minori, do you have anything that you can do to try to find Ken? I don't think you do, technically. Does your... Not really, no. Alright.
Well, we lost Ken, everyone.
If he's gotta be... Okay, he's a tough kid. And he's surprisingly good at interrogation, so unless she sort of looks at Mr. Zombie Dude. You have any other friends hiding down there? Say it now or I'm gonna smack you in the back of the head.
That's not gonna work.
Which it doesn't, surprisingly not.
Yeah. Do I have anything? Da-da-da-da.
Brains.
God.
Yeah, kinda. Okay. Even if we can't find him, we know he's still here. Or he's still close. And
we don't know if he's still close. All we know is that he's still awake, sitting there poking the clay.
Well, this jutsu takes concentration. He's still conscious and he's still able to hold the jutsu together. Which means he's not in any immediate danger because he can't.
It's like, how far is he going? I just asked him just to, like, look at the ground and be like, nope, no one's around, let's go.
Well, obviously someone was around. And at that point, as that was said, we get a reappearance. Remember her? It's Yone, Bochick.
So it's just gonna point at her and be like, you.
Well, here's the thing. You could do that if you wanted to, but
she's just pointing at her. That's it, just pointing and be like, you.
Here's the thing. The reason she comes out of the ground is because she was uppercutted out of the ground. And as she comes bursting out of the ground,
but she's just gonna sit there and watch and be like, ah, okay.
As she comes flying out of the ground, Ken jumps with her and then grabs her and in a very Lee sort of thing just like slams her down onto her head.
Easy there.
I didn't hurt her much.
You just slapped her down. Okay.
And Yone is currently not. She doesn't appear to be dying or anything. She's pretty unconscious though. She's pretty unconscious though.
So it's just gonna walk over and kind of like poke her.
She's fine. She's breathing. You don't see her bow.
Shima's gonna lick her cheek. Trust me, you do not want a tiger's tongue. You don't want to be licked by a tiger.
What is Shima's goal here?
Seeing if the pain of the skin being ripped off the face wakes her. Not really. It doesn't really rip off. It's very, very rough. Like sandpaper. Rough.
Sandpaper top thing, yeah.
Yeah.
What? Ow! What?
Hi!
Ow!
Enjoying this? Were you enjoying the show?
No. What?
No.
What show?
We just had a fight not too long ago up here, and you're here.
Yeah. I was underground nearby. I heard a lot of vibrations. I came over here to look.
Yeah, that's why I was asking. Did you enjoy the show of the fight?
Well, I was underground for most of it, so no.
And why the hell did you just disappear? From earlier.
Because the mission was done?
Yes, you could have reported back to the village.
You did that.
Because you weren't around.
Exactly. You went there first. I can't help you went there first.
Can you just put her in a clay tomb like you did him?
Clay?
Or can you only do one at a time?
Clay?
She's talking to Kenny.
I know she is. Clay, but Yone is like, Clay to you. I knew I recognized that. And then Clay comes around her, including her mouth, and she stopped talking.
Okay. Let's head back to the village.
I can only carry one. Okay, I can trap 2, but I can only carry 1. My earth prowess isn't that good.
I can carry her strength. Boom. Take carry.
Ken gives you a smile. He is rather impressed and likes to see you all decked out and hulked out and stuff.
Even though she's just decked out all the time. It's just like, oh hey, let's have some little bit of straining muscle. Okay, carry weight's non-existent.
Alright. So, you carry them back to the village. Both Mr. Trap, Undead Man, and Yone.
Yes.
And we sort of do a sort of faded or something like that transition, and you guys end up back in the meeting room. Most of the statues and stuff are still there, and except for like you picked up the statue prison that Yone was in, so she's still technically stuck in one. But since Ken was using the earth to move the big guy, and Ken only has so much chakra and things that he can focus on, the statue prison goes down on the big guy, or the sword guy, and by the time you've got him back to the village, Minori has tied him up. So he's bound just as much as he was before, just not with Earth anymore. It's also strangely apparent that his resolve and desire to fight is just not there. He seems very out of it, if you will. But you do make it back to the village and back to the cookie.
Does it look like the boat girl is just sitting there angrily trying to talk and stuff and is just muffled?
Yes.
Suna's just gonna giggle at that.
Very much so, yes. Yone had, or not Yone, Ken had specifically, put enough of a break between the neck and her jaw and the rest of the statue, so that you could see that her jaw was moving to try to talk, but it was doing nothing.
Just, here's the taste of clay. Enjoy.
Pretty much. Also, Sume, give for me a spot check.
13. Should I roll for Shima for a spot?
Nah. That's good
okay.
enough. You see that you had seen the sort of design and pattern to the statue that the undead guy had been trapped in. And it seemed like he had a very sort of unique sort of it was kind of like a almost fiery sort of design to how the clay was wrapped around. It's dark. It's almost like the clay was painted, but not. It's like the clay was darker in places intentionally to make little designs and things. But the clay that's wrapped around Yone is ever so slightly different than the clay that was wrapped around the big guy. And you can see that in the pattern, because you notice even more so now, having traveled back with her, that Yone doesn't have her bow. And
did
her
you forget something?
Her the statue is wrapped around her quiver, where her quiver is on her back. And you see that it's imprinted in the different coloration "Ha," where her quiver is. was. Her quiver's still there, but the bow's not. It's as if Ken just was like, ha! She doesn't have her bow.
Speaking of, where is her bow?
It's, back there. Underground. I'll go get it later. Says Ken.
Okay, you won't get in for like another week. Okay then.
Hmm?
She was making a joke as in like there's probably, I don't know, not something too happy between them. So he doesn't really care that her bow's back there.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, so next week then. Alright.
There is very clearly some sort of animosity between these two. And then Minori just sort of claps and goes, okay, now, about that report. And there's the Datakage for you to report to.
Yeah, I'd be like, hi. Found one. Wasn't expecting another.
I see that. So, what did you find out in particular?
Well, one, this guy's a zombie that's far away from his home.
Interesting. And you chose to not,
I don't have the interrogation skill.
well, no. I didn't expect as such. That's why I sent her. He looks to Minori. Yes, well, there was a giant worm, and I was sort of focused on trying to deal with that. It was surprisingly resilient. And
It's because it's a worm.
well, yeah, okay. I haven't really fought worms like that. Not that one anyway. Good grief, that one's huge. Right. He's from Nisuichi, which, as you said, is mentioned. He's very far away from home. And as a zombie, as you so elegantly put it, he then looks to Yone, and he's, is there something you failed to mention to me? And Yone says, because she still can't talk. And Ken sort of rolls his eyes and puts up a half seal to rid the clay that was gagging her. She's still trapped, but she can now talk.
Yeah.
Okay, so I left Setetsu. It's a village that's been kind of off of the radar for a while, with good reason. We can't really say a whole lot concerning what actually went down. And she actually opens her mouth and sticks out her tongue, and you, Sume, see a seal of some sort that is actually on her tongue.
Oh, great.
See? I can only say so much. You need some sort of Fuyin Jutsu removal person, something. I don't know of anyone here that you have here that can do it. Otherwise, I would have asked them somehow. Probably just showed them my tongue. I don't know. But, and then she sort of looks at you, Sume, and is like, see why I don't usually like authority types? One wasn't really nice to me.
Yes, but there's plenty of people out here that are willing to help you get rid of that.
Yes. Well, I was trying to find it on my own. I guess that wasn't the best choice.
No.
She sort of just looks at the Parakage and if you can get someone to remove this seal from me, I will tell you everything I know. And Parakage sort of looks to Minori as if she would be a good judge of how trustworthy that sounded, how sincere that sounded.
Yes, use the charismas. Use the power of the charismas.
How funny.
Aww. Yep, that's totally trustworthy.
She seems fine as far as I can tell, said Minori. And Sume, you spoke to her more than Minori did, I suppose. What are your thoughts?
She seemed alright, except for the fact is that she didn't come back and report like she should have.
I told you. I didn't see that I had the need to report if you were going to do it anyway.
It's better if you just shown up instead of just disappearing like that and stuff. Who knows what could have happened? You could have been kidnapped, or you could have been dead somewhere underground. We would have never known.
I could have been by that giant worm you so graciously got rid of. I appreciate that.
And the thing is, if you just came back, you wouldn't have to deal with the worm in the first place.
If I hadn't came back, the worm would have came here.
It was hunting you?
Couldn't tell that, could you? Yes, it was hunting me.
How could you tell?
She, Yone looks to, the guy who's all tied up and acting very much dead, even though he's still breathing, weirdly. The same person who applied those seals, the seal to him, that allowed him to exist, is the same person that applied the seal to me to forbid me from talking.
Oh, okay then. Yeah. Get it off her tongue. Well, I mean, you can't write it down or anything?
No.
Okay.
I can't even write it.
Out of character, I was gonna sit there and be like, well, couldn't you just cut the tongue out and then just write it?
Theoretically, that would work.
Theoretically, yeah, but I'm assuming that she would rather have her tongue.
I don't know if Sume's the type to say it that way either.
No. That's
Maybe
why
if you
I
were playing a
stopped.
Barbarian, but no.
Yeah, I'd be like, I could just cut it out. You have 2 hands.
I'm not gonna run off. She looks back to the Podakage. You can summon someone, call for someone to come to us to, like, rid me of this seal, right? I should be able to. Okay then. I'll hang around here. Hopefully no one else comes calling for me. If they do, then you appear to have some pretty capable fighters. Kim pops up. You're not getting your bow until your seal is gone. Fine. Fine. You want some insurance so that I don't run off? I get it. Can you get me out of this armor now?
Armor?
She's calling the shell that's wrapped around her armor, yes.
Okay.
I've told you it's not armor. She looks to you.
Oh, will you two just kiss already?
What?
It's a
They
joke.
both say like simultaneously.
It's a joke. Relax, you two. Figuring like married couple.
Ken drops the jutsu from Yone. And then she just sort of relaxes her muscles a bit. Well, one good thing. I guess I can sleep here now instead of being underground all the time. And, does Sume have any specific thing that she wants to do?
No, she's just gonna sit there and watch and just like, how do they take care of this seal sign thing on her tongue?
Mm-hmm. If I recall, Sume would be very curious about such things.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, the Podakage, after like the whole debriefing thing is done, eventually Minori just sort of wanders off, and Ken follows, and then Yone just sort of hangs out in the corner of the meeting room over here. And then the Podakage sort of looks over the undead dude. Well, as it's now just you, him, and a few of the other guards, but they're minding their own business because this isn't a briefing that they're a part of. I read from all of your missions that you have been on that you made it a point to not kill anyone that you encountered.
We try not to.
That's a very admirable trait to have. I don't really know what I can do with someone like him, considering that by all technicality, he's already dead.
I mean, I understand that he's already dead, but we didn't know he was dead then and stuff. I mean, maybe there's a way we can still get information out of him, who knows?
It would take a great degree of interrogation to try that, but I suppose it's possible.
Mm-hmm.
I also recall from some of the information that your Datakage sent to me, some of your missions and things that you went on, they were involved with...
Involved with the group thing?
Yes, them. the Azagiru.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, based on the information that I have, and the base information we just received, it seems that our undead friend here is also connected to them.
Most likely.
And unlike our bow friend back there, you would be willing to share what information you know, yes? If the Azagiru are after her, they have to have a reason.
I mean, I worked with one of the higher ups of the Azagiru.
Worked with?
They're kind of separate. I kind of didn't really have a choice, but then again, I did have a choice. It was weird.
I would say so.
Honestly, she wasn't a bad person. She just did a lot of wrongs to try to do something that was right or something. She kind of like itches at the seal mark and just like scratching above the clothes.
You have some sort of seal too, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
But nothing like these two.
Oh, no. I can talk all I want.
And you're not dead, so that's good.
Not dead. Very thankful for that.
Is it a seal that you still wish to have?
I mean, it's useful and stuff. But I'm not too sure about it.
Can you remain in control?
She like goes to start to say yes, and then just goes, most times.
I see. Well, in that case, I'll send for a much stronger Fuyin Jutsu caster. Master. That way perhaps they would be able to help you with yours as well. I know of a few. And based on the power of the two seals that they have, I was going to go for the one that's easier. That's closer.
The one that was either closer.
If they're in a different ninja village, you would have to travel here. So.
I mean,
But I do know of another across.
they can. Well, real quick, they can kind of see her chakra, right? Just based on the dark pulsingness of the chakra from the curse mark.
When she's talking about it, probably, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't pulse whenever you're not using it, but
No, I was just saying that they can see the chakra through it and stuff.
he can, yes.
Yeah,
Yone,
okay.
the rest of the guards, and the undead guy, no, he can, yes.
No, I figured he could. So she doesn't exactly have to sit there and show him the mark.
Yeah. I leave this choice to you, Sumi. If I call for the one that's closer, these two will be dealt with faster. I don't want to call for them both, because the Fuyin Jutsu is a rarer trait. It's not as common as it should be. So a master of such a thing, they end up traveling.
It's expensive.
Yeah, end up traveling all over the place just to help. We're lucky we have the few that we do that are on our side. Needless to say, there's at least 2 or 3 that are on the Ozagiru side, apparently. So, if you... I can't call for both. If we call for the one that's closer, they'll be able to help these 2, but not you. But if we call for the one
they
that's...
can give a slight look and stuff and say whether or not I need to go see a master of sorts.
Possibly.
Right? Okay.
I don't know this stuff
It's...
any better than you do. But...
Yeah. I say get the closer one, because we need to get the information out of these guys faster, so that way, if there's anything that can be useful against Artigu, it can be used quickly, instead of then further and waiting. Like, we don't know what kind of trouble would like show up on the road if that master starts walking. Like, if someone knows like this guy is going to here and stuff, and pointing at these 2, and it's like, these 2 are here, and don't want any harm coming to that person, and so.
Alright. If I can do anything to help you with that seal, help you keep control, I will still do that. The reason I'm friends with such a high-end Fujitsu master is, especially one that's gone across continents now. I've dealt with it in the past myself, just not something like this or whatever it is that you have.
Right.
Get some rest. You probably need it.
So when will the curse or the Fujin guy will be
Probably
here?
in 2 or 3 days.
Okay then.
You get some rest. We'll keep track of these 2. I'll probably toss him in the same jail cell that we had the one
girl in, yeah.
You actually, it's even visible to Sume. This whole this discussion of seals and things, it has seemed to take a great deal out of him. Not
Right.
necessarily in the mental or physical, but emotional. There's some association that he has with this sort of stuff, and it doesn't sit well with him. So, but yeah. So,
Okay.
That is what I have for your session. I hope that was pretty well even. Though yours was mostly combat instead of fun tropical adventure, but
Yeah. It's fine if mine was like a little shorter than hers.
I met a bear.
You met a bear.
and a monkey.
I did, and a monkey, and they were both
Wait,
fuzzy.
Did you race the monkey?
No, not yet.
You didn't race the
You weren't
monkey.
listening.
You went to... No.
You didn't listen.
Didn't you went to sleep?
Yeah.
Yeah. You missed the race.
No, I didn't miss the race.
No, he said to race you after he was like done working or whatever.
Dead.
F. It's alright.
Chin
30
Chin's
minutes
mom.
the next day.
I actually did, as a DM, I did that on purpose, just to see if you would remember. Because I felt like Shiori had...
No.
I had felt like Shiori had, met a bunch of people, and that she being a somewhat more, like, timid character may have been a bit overwhelmed.
Oh, I want to race the monkey.
You can race the monkey. As I said, you will race the monkey
Race
in
the
that
monkey
session.
across. Yeah, race the monkey across the path of the queen. That was trouble. What?
Trouble with Shiori?
Never. Only all the time.
Oh.
Alright. It was great fun. Thank you both. And, well, this has been Naruto, A New World.
Tune in next time to find out what happens.
Oh, how very bland.
I know.